So today, Steffen and we want to talk about loyalty in Web3, more specific Uptrip, the program coming out of the Lufthansa Innovation Hub. But I would say we kick things off with a quick intro first, and Steffen, take it away.
Hi everyone, my name is Steffen. I'm with Lufthansa's Innovation Hub. They are responsible for our newest project, Uptrip, which is a loyalty/blockchain/gamification application you're going to see soon. Very happy to show you what we built, how we built it, and especially why we built it. And I think, Philip, you're going to start with some generic information about Web3 and loyalty.
Yeah. Quickly about myself. So I'm the business development director for Polygon, the infrastructure that Uptrip is built on. My team and I, what we're looking after is to help brands, IPs to transition from Web2 to Web3. There are other cases that you might have heard of, like Nike, Starbucks, that we've been working on. But today, we want to focus entirely on Uptrip. And as Steffen said, I'm going to talk a little bit about generically what are loyalty programs, what are pain points today, how can Web3 tackle them, and then we go into the specifics of Uptrip. So what are loyalty rewards in general? It's nothing else but a marketing tool that tries to increase sales while at the same time retaining the customer, trying to make them loyal. And the incentive for doing that is clearly shown in numbers that say that 84% of clients are more willing to buy a product for you if you run a loyalty program. And once you're in it, you're likely to spend up to 3.5 times more than without one. So the incentives are very clear why to run a program. However, there's an irony in calling it loyalty programs because the data also shows that 74% of consumers at least switched the brands once in the last year. And on top of that, you have a challenge with upcoming emerging generations. I don't know who was here for the H&M talk earlier, but Gen Z will make up 40% of the consumer base by 2026, and they really want to move beyond transactional programs and move to experiences that they want to have with these kind of brands, and which is why it's important to look at your programs now rather sooner than later. Before handing over to Steffen, I want to talk a little bit about the pain points of current programs and then touch on how Web3 can tackle these. So pain point number one right now is that customer acquisition costs are fairly high and return on advertising spend is quite low by now. And the reason for that being is the deprecation of web cookies and also policy changes in iOS or other operating systems. A second pain point is clearly the engagement. So we can see that in a lot of programs, less than 20% of the rewards are actually redeemed. Pain point number three is giving away free product, because in the end, every company looks at the bottom line. So if the value that you need to give to customers in loyalty programs comes from within, your bottom line is hurt, and you don't want that. Point number four, partnerships are manual, and the tech lift is quite heavy. What does it mean? If two brands want to collaborate on a loyalty program, let's say they're not on the same tech stack. So it's pretty difficult then to make a collaboration work. Another one is all the legal work involved, so that's a tricky one as well. And then last but not least is a 360 view of the customer, because a customer can interact with your brand at a point of sale, on your own homepage, at a third-party application. The problem here is that you cannot identify the customer as it is right now with a lot of legacy programs. Moving to why Web3 and how you can tackle exactly these challenges. So first of all, there was the problem of the customer acquisition cost. In Web3, I think by now we all learned that you can use the technology to just remove intermediaries. Intermediaries always bring cost with you, so that's one way to approach this. Another one is that at least up till now, the communities in Web3 are very engaged, and they're happy to make recommendations with friends and family. So that might change in the future, but for now, that's another piece. And then, as a last one, for customer acquisition costs, I'm blanking on that one actually. Maybe I'll come back to that. So the second one was engagement. So engagement pretty low in the legacy space. But right now, through the technology, I mean, we all know that by now you can have true ownership of digital assets. You can have rarity, scarcity. That makes it really interesting and brings engagement up. There are other things like gamification, but you could do that without blockchain technology. Point number 3 was on the margin. So your business is hurt if the value that you bring to your customer comes from the outside. Now, because of, and that brings me to point number 4, of the same tech stack that everyone is using, mostly everyone is on the Ethereum standard, so collaborations with other companies are super easy, and what that means is the value can come to the customer from another brand. Why would other brands be willing to do that? Because they get a net new customer base, and at the same time, you save the money that you would usually need to bring to these kind of programs. Other things like secondary markets, royalties, I mean, these things are not as proven, but the collaboration point certainly is. We've talked about that one, the partnerships, because of the tech is now fairly straightforward. And last but not least, I mentioned the 360 view of the customer, that now through blockchain technology, you can just token gate the access of your customer. Yes, there's still improvements that need to be made, but whether it's on your own homepage, whether it's third-party application, or actually in a retail store, if you token gate stuff, you always know not particularly which individual you're talking to, but at least which wallet you're talking to. And this has a lot of advantages, but now enough about me, about generic stuff. I think you're actually all here to hear about Uptrip and what Lufthansa has been doing, so over to you, Steffen.
Thank you very much. So, before we go back into the fancy world of blockchain, let me quickly tell you what Uptrip is about in general. And if you download the app on your phone, what you're going to see on the home screens are a lot of floating trading cards, aircraft, cities, airlines. And this is actually all Uptrip is about. It's about collecting these trading cards. How to get them is quite simple. Just fly with one of the 8 airlines from the Lufthansa group, scan your boarding pass within Uptrip, and we will transform that boarding pass for you into a set of these digital trading cards. And they will be personalized and 100% reflect the trip that you did. So here I went from Frankfurt to Tokyo, so I get the 2 cities, I get the specific aircraft I was in on that day, and the card for the airline itself. Now, okay, nice to have trading cards if you're into collectibles like me, but we wanted to also put a very tangible and unique utility to these cards. So what we did is we put a bunch of collections into Uptrip, and each collection has a specific name, topic, and a defined set of cards that are required for you to complete this collection. Here you see the 5 largest cities of the world. You need Tokyo, Delhi, Shanghai, Sao Paulo, and Mexico City, for example. And once you added all those cards and completed the collection, you can hand it in and redeem it for a reward that you can use on your next trip. Rewards can be things like a Wi-Fi voucher for a Eurowings flight, Lufthansa Business Lounge access on various airports, status and award miles from Miles & More. We will also have frequent traveler and senator status soon, or something simple like a €50 voucher for your next booking with Swiss. We also started to work with external partners already. We will soon have collections where you can get other travel-related rewards, like a 3-month bubble subscription to learn a new language, get a free eSIM from Airalo if you are outside of the European Union, or send a postcard to your family to wherever you are in the world. That's the very, very basic and I'd say quite simple concept of Uptrip. Now you wonder, where does blockchain come into it? And actually you can use the app as it is, like here. If you want to stay for yourself in your own cosmos, just collect cards for yourself and put them on the collections. You don't need to use, and you won't need, any blockchain. But if you want to go global and exchange with other people, you can and need to turn on the blockchain mode, so to say. And how you do it is you connect your blockchain wallet, which you already have, or you make a new one, MetaMask is a very famous version, for example. You connect this within the Uptrip app, and then you can mint every trading card that you collected so far or will collect as an NFT on the Polygon blockchain straight into your own wallet. You can mint all cards, you can mint single cards, however you like. And from the moment of the minting and the transfer of the trading card on the blockchain, you will have 100% ownership of that card and can do with it however you see fit. Now, final question you might have is, why did we do it like this, and why did we put blockchain at all into Uptrip? And I'm going to try to circle back what Philipp said and tell you very in specific how these advantages resulted for us with Uptrip. Technology means the second I give you an Uptrip trading card as an NFT, you can transfer it, swap it, trade it on various external platforms for whatever currency without us needing to build anything of that technology. Yes, we need to allow the minting as an NFT, but then that's it. You can send the card to anyone around the globe. You can swap it with friends like Frankfurt for Berlin, or you can trade it on a ton of external marketplaces for every currency without us needing to build anything of that. This ownership, we already see, leads to really cool engagement things. For example, now we have the first kind of communities building up. We see people in chats and forums talking, hey, I'm missing this card for my collection. Is anyone going to that place next time? Yeah, I'm traveling there for business. What would you be willing to exchange? And the beauty is this all happens without our knowledge or consent because the user doesn't know it, right? You own the card. You can transfer it, trade it, sell it, whatever you like. Users could build up applications and websites for Uptrip trading card swapping, all without our knowledge, consent, or any technology we need to supply. Secondary markets, very interesting and famous topic. And of course, in theory, we could have built a secondary marketplace without the blockchain. But try to imagine if we would need all the technical and the legal stuff to build something like an eBay marketplace for Uptrip cards, right? Payment processing, escrow service, everything needs to be built up, a lot of legal license topics. And via giving the Uptrip trading card as an NFT, the second you have it, you can just trade it on OpenSea if you like. And we as a company, we didn't even talk to OpenSea once. It's just working and existing from the moment you have the card as an NFT. Additionally, if you have some volume in your collection, you can, with an optional royalty fee, make additional revenue streams sum up to a nice business case. The same, what holds for secondary markets, is also true for every other partnership. Yes, we could build an individual API and have partners cater towards it, but instead we just use the blockchain standard that is well known and documented, and who knows, maybe in a couple of weeks what you're going to see on Frankfurt Airport is a retail store who says, hey, you're going to get a discount here if you have a specific Uptrip card or any Uptrip card or whatsoever. And then maybe in a couple of months we are going to put special sustainability cards into Uptrip. If you book a green fare with Lufthansa, where there is CO2 compensation for your flight included, maybe we give you super special unique cards. And then the coffee store owner at Frankfurt Airport can say, if you prove to me with your Uptrip card that you booked a green fare, and so you are a sustainable traveler somehow, then I'm going to give you the coffee for a half price or a discount or whatever. And again, this would all happen without us and the partner need to talk to each other. The technology is open, everything is transparent, everyone can tap in. And last point, I know, Philipp, you talked about 360-degree customer view, identity resolution. I'm going to hijack this point because, after all, this is a marketing conference. And to be a bit honest, yes, the buzz and the hype that goes ahead with blockchain is also one of the reasons we did it, right? It's fun for us as a team to work with that technology. It's incredible that the innovation sparks your contact with media partners and also a younger target group. Uptrip is live already in the Apple and Android store. You can download it right away, get started if you have some boarding passes from the past or if you're flying in the next days. We are really, really happy with the results so far. We have roughly 30,000 users signed up. Over 100,000 boarding passes got scanned and transformed into cards. People start minting their cards on the blockchain, on Polygon. They start trading on OpenSea and other marketplaces. As I said, these communities that seem to form up. And yeah, so we're really, really happy with the results. We have a long list of to-dos and things we want to put into place. Some abstraction layer for the blockchain integration to make it a bit more easy. More partnerships coming, more gamification features. So yeah, stay tuned to what Lufthansa, Uptrip, and also Polygon might bring in the next weeks. Let me know if you tried Uptrip and what you think. And yeah, thanks everyone for listening. Feel free to talk to Philipp or me if you have any questions. We will be around the whole day. And enjoy your day. Thank you.